Howdy, thanks for joining me on the channel here. Chris Kiefer, Glen Helen Raceway. You're looking at 2024 Beta 450 RX. Just got done doing a whole racerxonline.com video, but I thought I would just give you a quick rundown of what I thought about this motorcycle really quick. So obviously it's the first year for this motorcycle. I've had a lot of experience on the off-road side, two-stroke side with Beta when I was at Dirt Rider magazine. I'm a little late to the game on this bike. I know a lot of other media has had the bike, tested it, so this may be nothing new for you guys to hear this, but I thought I'd just give you a little quick tutorial rundown of what I thought. We always talk about these Yamahas and Kawasaki's in some of these videos on my YouTube because that's what I've been riding the most. So I thought that's a good platform to kind of compare to you guys what I think about this Beta. So the engine, very smooth, linear, not a lot of excitement, more excitement than the Kawasaki KX450, but just doesn't have that grunt, that torque feel like the YZ450F does. However, that is not a bad thing. It's very easy to ride, very easy to maneuver around the track. We're here at Glen Helen Raceway today, and it's like very choppy, dry, rough, typical Glen Helen conditions, and you have a lot of rear wheel connection just simply because there's not a lot of pickup and torque there. I will say this, for how smooth it is, it does have decent recovery. So if I make a mistake in corner and I fan the clutch, it does get back in the knee of the power really easy, but this engine isn't gonna rip your arms off. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, the Beta is cool. Obviously very attractive looking with the, I don't know what this color is, orange and red or some kind of orange and red and blue, but very bright, stands out. I like the frame. A buddy of mine just mentioned that he likes the clear tank. I wasn't a fan of it, but now that I've been around it a little bit, kind of growing on me a little bit, and it's cool that you can see how much fuel is in your tank, a la off-road guys out there. So if you're looking for a smoother motorcycle, engine delivery, this is a very nice package. The KX450 is a little bit slower, a little bit more lethargic. This has a little bit more pickup, but still has that smooth power like the KX. However, this thing doesn't like to be revved out. If you're matting out a corner second gear and you're letting it eat, the way it cuts out on the over rev is very, what I call thick. When you have a KX450 or a YZ450 and you're at the top end, you're like, gak, 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 and it's revving, you think, okay, I gotta shift. This thing just falls right off. Like, it's very, very bad in that direction. So this likes to be short shifted. So second gear, roll out of the corner, shift to third real quick. This engine likes that. So that's what you guys have to do with this engine. So it was kind of weird because it felt really rich up on top, like the ECU setting. So I would like to lean that out a little bit and maybe some of that over rev would come back and I'd get a little bit more. But nonetheless, it's very strange how bad it cuts out up on top on over rev. So something to be noted. Maybe Beta will fix that for 25. I know those are already out there on their website right now. But engine, easy to use, easy to ride. A couple things about the frame. So chassis-wise, stability is great. I look for stability here on the West Coast, Southern California side of things because we have fast tracks, choppy conditions. I want a bike that's stable. This has that, but yet it just feels tall when you sit on it. Rather than the other Japanese bikes, I'm not as tall on the bike. This feels tall, so what that does is when I go to lean into corners, it's just hard to do it. That initial area one of the corner, it's very hard to push down in. So it takes a little bit more work, which I would rather have than have it the other way where this bike is not as stable. Always easier to make a bike corner than make a bike stable. So I'm okay with that, but it's something to be noted. This thing doesn't like the corner like I thought it would. Sits up tall, hard to initiate the corner. Once you're in area 2, it's fine, but then as you're exiting, this thing wants to stand up. So that's just something to be noted, but it is stable. Overall, the frame feels soft. On the edge of tire, there is comfort there. For how much this thing vibrates, I get a lot of vibration through the bars and the pegs. This thing has a lot of comfort. So it vibrates about as bad as a KX450. YZ450 doesn't have no vibration. This thing vibrates through my hands with these wide, I want to say they're the Beta's own brand bar. Maybe they're Domino, I don't know, but for me they just vibrate a lot, and just the overall engine character vibrates, so that is something to be known. KYB suspension, that is nice. It is soft, but not as soft as I thought it was going to be. There is some pitching off throttle, but overall, entering corners, besides that top heavy or tall feeling, yeah, I think the suspension is quite nice. Obviously there's not that big of jumps out here at Glen Helen. I think the biggest place we have for jumps is Fox Raceway, but overall I think they did a great job with the KYB setting. I'm a KYB fan because it moves more in the stroke, you get more comfort. It's not as a dead feeling as a Showa or a WP feel, so I think a little bit of a different spring rate for me in the fork would help. So if you're north of 180 pounds, maybe you want to go up the spring rate, but AOS fork, which is a great tried and true fork, they did a great job there. And for me, for their first shot at a motorcycle, at a motocross bike, they did a great job. I'd rate it like a B+. So 10 being the best bike I've ever ridden, 1 being the worst. I think it's like a 7. I think there is some things that they could address, but if you're looking to be a little bit different and you like the Beta brand and you like the way it looks, it's not a bad 450 motocross machine because it's just easy to ride, has some comfort. I would do a little bit of suspension testing and maybe do some clamp testing to see if I can make this thing corner a little bit. I would change the bar. To cut down on vibration, I would go to a Renthal fat bar or a Pro Taper Evo bar to kind of cut down on some vibration. Get some different grips because these grips suck. They're hard, they're fat, don't like them. Aiden can come on here. These are the map switch for the Beta. You have an aggressive and then you have a softer setting and then you have traction control. The bar pad cover is gone because it flew off. It's kind of janky, so I didn't like that. I don't like this. I saw earlier today that this Domino throttle cables are they're just kind of loose inside of this throttle tube in here. I don't know, I don't like it. So that kind of worries me. So that is a worrisome point for me. So I would maybe look at that and fix that. The brakes are mediocre. They're not great. They're not bad. They're okay. I do like the rims. They come with Excel rims, 1350 gearing. I would maybe go up to a 1351, do the old Jody trick, and so that way you can get third gear sooner. You can shift the third gear. It will not carry third gear in corners. It doesn't have that much engine. But overall, good exhaust note, attractive motorcycle. I would just like a little bit less vibration, a little bit more power. And one thing before we leave here, another part of when I corner, it's very wide in the shroud here. Aiden can come in here and kind of see. It bends, it goes out wide and bends in. And when I stick my leg out, I always hit these corners. So it is a little beefy in here when you try to stick your leg up. So that's something to be noted. But otherwise, you can check out racerxonline.com for the video. You can see me riding it, breaking it down a little bit more, but I thought you guys would like a little bit of info right here on the YouTube. So subscribe, like, all that stuff that the kids say, and we'll see you on the next video.